my name is Jansen Reposarda. I make artwork under the name CERA, and so what I do is mural painting and typically large-scale work with spray paint cans.
I'm Emma Daisy, and I'm a visual artist. I am more known for my murals and street art than I am for my studio work, but I like to do both.
My name is Ken Brown. I'm a visual artist. I do more than just paint. I'm also a poet. I sculpt. I play guitar and keyboard as well. So.
My name's Drew York. I'm at 1000 Beans on Instagram, and I've been painting, stenciling, and wheat pasting the Pirate Rabbit for around 14 years now.
There's Cornbread the Legend, which is, he's referred to as like the first person to be doing graffiti in the United States. And I think he has a story of painting the Jackson 5 plane, if I'm not mistaken, but he's Philly. And so I lived in Philly for about 6 years, and I worked at Dick Blick Art Supplies. And he actually came in to pick up paint one time, which was really interesting.
I feel like graffiti art is a beautiful art form. It may not always get the recognition that it deserves.
A lot of it comes from, people having pride in their neighborhood and their block. So I think that's like a big part of, American history and American graffiti. But I think it's changed a lot over the years too. It's gone from something where you're kind of like talking about your name to like creating these like ornate pieces in your neighborhoods that are, just there to beautify as well.
There's so much space that looks like canvases to me, but I think we all could use more color if it's, commissioned or not. So
it gives you the opportunity to speak a little bit more clearly, like whether you're having like a political message or if you're talking about issues that are not typically the most comfortable issues to talk about. The graffiti and illegal work definitely gives you a little bit more freedom in that regard.
It is a great way for people to communicate their feelings. I feel like there should be more opportunities for graffiti artists. It should be embraced. In fact, a lot of museums and galleries all across the world embrace graffiti as a beautiful art form, as well they should.
You have the opportunity to just kind of go in and do it on your own time and with your own intent.
Yeah, I mean, outside of like sanctioned work, yeah, I think everyone kind of dabbles in that area, but there's like a certain exhilaration and freedom that comes with doing that type of thing.
I get super excited every time I put one up everywhere. That's why, it's weird that I became obsessed with doing this Pirate Rabbit. To somebody else, I can see how it's just a random thing, which it is. I think it's funny how certain different artists fall into the character work that they do. It's cool,
I'm really interested in like wheat paste and bringing wheat paste back, like large scale wheat paste, because I feel like you can do some really awesome stuff with wheat paste.
I did a lot of wheat pasting, so I'd do screen prints and block prints and put them, do them large scale on newsprint and then poster them up in different places. But I've been very, very, very lucky that didn't catch up with me.
I try to not put my work up in the busiest areas, and if I do, I try to just be as nonchalant about it as possible and just be calm, go put it up and get out of there. Not sit there and take pictures of it after it's done, whatever, just in and out as quick as possible in a spot that's not, somebody's house or the front of a business or whatever. I try to go for an abandoned place or, an old pedestrian bridge down by the river, something like this, just where, it gets foot traffic. That's what I like, people seeing my stuff, but I don't need every car in the city to drive by my stuff.
I believe it's a felony in Milwaukee, which, limits your voting rights and your ability to navigate life outside of what you do. And for me, it's really important to be able to make artwork every day and to be able to, sustain myself, pay rent, take care of my dog, my family, and to be able to do that through making artwork all the time. So, there's a transition where I had to be like, no more illegal stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
I'd like to move further to muralist in general, but I probably wouldn't ever stop putting up the Fire Rabbits, here and there. But I did my first exterior mural in Milwaukee last year, and just have been wanting to do, large scale stuff since then.
Again, I think it's important to remember that it doesn't necessarily have to be illegal for that aspect of the artwork to be important.
Yeah, there's something very liberating about spray painting on a huge wall, whether it's allowed or not.
There are certain artists that are really good at putting out, charged pieces politically or whatever. So I think that's a good side of street art, but I also just think that it's a lot of cities and the cityscapes are just boring and plain and gray or tan. So I just like seeing a random spot of color or just a tag anyway, just something that's not supposed to be there.
You look at a wall, you're like, wow, that wall looks gigantic. It would take not that much effort to make a big impact. It's really just paint on a wall. And so, with a little bit of effort and ingenuity, you can really make a lot happen. You can catch people's attention pretty quickly. I think for me that interest lies in that you're talking to a whole different demographic. It's kind of like anybody working in a public space. You can be talking to like a child or an adult. You can be talking to such a range of different people.
There's an importance to doing work that's visible, that's accessible to people, the community, and that's outside of the white cube experience of museums. I would say, like, when I'm working on a particular mural, I like to understand and know the community, so I make an effort to, see where the location is, see what's surrounding it, kind of get the vibe of that particular neighborhood. I get a lot of inspiration just from everyday life and from interactions with people.
I mean, ranging from people like friends that I have to, artists that are working like internationally. I'm a big fan of Tristan Eaton's work. Shepard Fairey is another artist that I've always really, really loved. Like, his pattern work is amazing. He's interested in social justice and doing things with intent with his work, which I think is really important. But there's, all sorts of even like local artists that I absolutely love, like Emma Daisy, who brought me on with this project. Her work is incredible, Dave of Big Shot Robot, absolutely beautiful and clean work. So I find that I look up to people that I'm friends with, and I look up to people that I might never meet.
Oh, inspiration is all around us. You can find inspiration from the sun that rises, from the sunset, falling leaves, a laughing baby or children, an older couple holding hands, the weather, a dream at night. Inspiration is all around us, and it's up to us to awaken that inner inspiration, not only for ourselves, but to share with each other.
It's really reflective of what we deal with and what we go through. I think artists tend to react to their surroundings. And so, like, for me, I look at artwork as sort of a mirror. Like we look at artwork and we're looking at a reflection of what we are already doing. So whether we're talking about relationships, whether we're talking about mental health or political viewpoints, it's we cover a lot in the artwork.
I would say all of my work, maybe indirectly, is socially charged in that it is about access, it's about diversity, it's about human connection, and I think that's a valid and important piece of social justice. So it's not as overt in the work that I'm doing, but yeah.
I've tried to talk a little bit about mental health in my work before. I've also kind of tried to talk a little bit about like gun ownership and what guns in the United States mean and like how accessible they are. But it can be really challenging, finding a place that is willing to showcase your work talking about that. So it's, it's complicated.
I'm a firm believer that art should have a message. It should convey hope. It should convey what's needed, This day and time, we need healing, we need restoration, we need love, we need fun, we need excitement, we need peace, we need so much. So any one of those messages, if I can infuse each of those messages in one piece, I would.
All of my work is about spreading joy. I think joy is an underrated emotion. Like Westtown in Bloom is really about growth, revitalization, abundance, like that kind of idea. So it was like, okay, this is our community garden, even though it's not a real physical garden. It was like a metaphor for that.
This mural in Black Cat Alley is entitled We Are One, and it's just to convey the message that we need each other, and we're to be here together. We're on earth together. We should live together. We should grow together. So the oneness that this mural conveys is not always shared, it's not always felt, but it's necessary, it's needed. Different shapes, we're all different shapes and sizes. We're all different colors, but as you can see, those colors come together in a beautiful way. So that's pretty much the message that I hope to convey with this mural.